Hey, what's going on, everybody? Roger's Base here with my review of One Piece Manga Chapter 875, A Woman's Honor. And I have seen a lot of people online who are royally upset at the fact that Nami actually managed to do damage to Big Mom and her army. And my question to them is this: why are you mad? Why are you mad that a member of the Straw Hats is actually doing damage against a Yonko? Now, I understand that some people are upset because Big Mom has been hyped up as this amazing character, and oh my god, she's so strong, and nobody can touch, the homies. Nobody can touch Prometheus and Zeus. The only one who ever damaged them is Brook. And yet, this chapter, we see Jinbe take on Prometheus and do quite a bit of damage to him, and we see Nami basically control Zeus by feeding him a weather egg and then having him basically shock with this enormous thunder tempo and nuke the seducing woods in an attack that was very reminiscent of what Prometheus did last week. But honestly, I'm not at all bothered by the fact that Nami's done damage to Big Mom, and I really don't understand the perspective from people who are saying that they're really mad that this was the case. I don't know if you just expect Big Mom to be stronger than this, or if you guys actually think Big Mom was taken down by this, because, spoiler alert, she definitely wasn't. Maybe this did a little bit of damage to her, or slowed her down, but this certainly is not going to be anything that's going to hold any sort of weight a few chapters from now. Big Mom is still rampaging, she still wants the wedding cake, she's still going to the seducing woods. Maybe it's going to knock out all the fodder characters, like we saw the little guy in the back of the lamb who did a flip and attacked Carrot and attacked Pedro. Maybe it's going to take him out, right? Maybe it's going to take out the Bobbins of the group, but it's not going to take down Big Mom herself. And I think it's ludicrous for anybody to think that that's actually going to be the case. And you'd be surprised. Some of you, just read the chapter and then come and watch my reviews, and then you see what's going on in the comment section, and that'll be that. And I feel like my viewers are pretty intelligent, and they know that Big Mom is not actually taken down by this, and that this isn't actually doing a ton of damage to her. But I don't know. You guys let me know in the comments below. Were you bothered at all by the fact that Nami attacked her with Zeus? I thought it was a really cool moment. I thought it was fitting, too, considering the whole early part of this arc that we're going through right now in the anime. Nami is controlling all the homies within the woods using the Lola Viver card. And we find out this chapter that the Viver card isn't really working anymore because Big Mom is there, and yet she's still able to control Zeus by feeding him the little black balls from her weather egg. Zeus basically becomes this massive thundercloud and then does that final attack. I thought that was great, and I think a lot of the other fights during this chapter were really cool too. I enjoyed that Jinbe and Prometheus class where he uses that rain shower attack. That looked amazing, and the translator's note during this chapter mentioned that apparently there was an attack that Jinbe used before that was basically a school of shark attack that was then retranslated via this scanlation, and I'm curious to see how Viz and Steven is going to translate that attack on Monday, because as many of you guys know, the official release comes out every Monday, and we basically just read these on Thursday to avoid being spoiled, because I know, being a manga reader, people are going to spoil me, especially being a public figure. People are going to spoil me on Thursday if I don't read it, and I really like these live reactions, and obviously doing my reviews as well, and I didn't really want to wait this week, because I thought this was a pretty interesting chapter. And it wasn't really beyond that little bit, it wasn't really too translation heavy. I feel like most of this could have been understood just by looking at the page. Now, another thing that really stood out to me was the stuff with Chopper and Brook this week. We open up the chapter with Chopper and Brook getting through that weird cream part of the ocean, and they see a giant, a sea king in the water, or what appears to be a sea king. It's this big, like, tiger fish sea king. And then they mention that there's a fishman or a mermaid. They can't really make out what it is, and we don't see anything else of that scene. Now, I looked really hard on that panel to try and find what mermaid or what they were talking about. I think some people are assuming they were talking about the Sea King, but no, that was definitely not the case. They were talking about something near the Sea King, and I think they're talking about the little speck to the top left, but I'm not really sure, and I have a feeling that probably has something to do with Jinbe's crew. I know Jinbe's crew already left, but Jinbe specifically mentioned them just a couple chapters ago, and I feel like if they are aware that Jinbe and the Straw Hats are in trouble, I think they might just turn back around. I know they're headed to Fishman Island right now. I think they might turn back around and try to help them. I think maybe that was the reasoning for that one panel that we saw last week or 2 weeks ago in chapter 874, where Big Mom does that crazy attack where she punches with her sword and then you literally see the waves on the ocean part. I'm thinking that maybe that is going to be a sign to the other fisherman pirates, the Old Sun pirates that are on their way to Fishman Island right now. They're going to go, oh my god, Jinbe must be in trouble. You know what, let's turn back around, let's see what's going on there. So I think that's maybe what they saw. Maybe Praline or Aladdin or maybe one of the scouts from the Sun Pirates is on their way over there right now to try to meet up with Jinbe and Luffy. I don't know. That's my best guess. The thing about Chopper and Brook I really loved in this chapter, though, was after we see that giant thunder tempo from Nami and Zeus, and we see everybody sort of running away, they're shocked, it does all this damage, and then you see everybody on the Thousand Sunny going, whoo, all right, now the Straw Hats are dead. Clearly, Big Mom annihilated them with Zeus. They obviously don't know that Nami's the one controlling Zeus, and then you see our boy, our guy, Katakuri, waiting there going, nah. Like, everybody else assumes that Big Mom did all this damage just to the Straw Hats, but no. Katakuri knows. He stands there silent. He's not saying anything. He's just looking because he knows there's more to that clash than meets the eye. And we see Chopper and Brook end up coming back to the Thousand Sunny, and Perospero's like telling them, believe me, your Straw Hat people are dead right now. I'll let you guys live if you decide to escape right now, just because it's just the two of you. You know, it's a cute little reindeer, and the skeleton guy has caused us so much trouble. You two can leave, but otherwise we're going to fight you. And you see this great moment where Chopper and Brook look down at each other in this really cute panel. I like the way that Oda drew them with these tiny little dot eyes and these little, like, blank expressions. And they look down at each other and they're like, nah, son. And Brook takes out his sword and Chopper goes into Kung Fu point. It's a really great moment. And I'm looking forward to seeing Chopper and Brook fight off some of those Big Mom pirates that are on the Thousand Sunny. I think all of the characters except Katakuri are probably going to clash with them next chapter. I cannot imagine they're going to relegate Katakuri to a Brook and Chopper fight. I think what's probably going to end up happening is we're going to see Perospero versus Chopper and Brook alongside all those other homies that are on the ship. And I think that's actually a pretty cool clash. I think it makes sense that Perospero would end up fighting the character who's obsessed with cotton candy on the crew, Chopper. So I think that'll be a really cool fight, seeing Chopper go all in against Perospero, against some of his candy attacks, and also some of these homies as well. I think Brook is going to be able to do a lot of damage, considering the fact that he's the Soul King. He could just exercise them using his Soul King powers. So yeah, I enjoyed that clash. I enjoyed the Jinbe and Prometheus stuff, and I really did like the Nami, Big Mom, Zeus clash right there. I like some of the other scenes too, where Oda drew all the Straw Hats together, where they're all running at the same time, and even some of those action panels where we see that one nameless fodder character do a flip onto Carrot and onto Pedro, and she's sort of staving them off. I enjoyed it. I gotta say, I laughed out loud when we see Sanji and Jinbe all talking about this wedding cake thing, and then you see Luffy going, oh yeah, that wedding cake was delicious. And they're like, what are you talking about? You ate it? And Carrot's like, yeah, I did too. We were chilling in there. It was delicious. Carrot and Luffy, once again, proving they're just these goofy little quirky characters that only care about food. I love it. The last thing I got to talk about, I would be remiss if I didn't bring this up. That final panel with Pudding, once again, sort of like switching personalities, where you see her going, there he is, there's Sanji, and then at the very end, Chiffon's like, wait, what are you talking about? And she goes, yes, there he is, and then she turns into Evil Pudding again. I am not a huge fan of that. That's the one part of this arc that's really grating on me. I know some people right now are kind of getting tired of the Whole Cake Island arc. I am not one of those people. I think Whole Cake has been a really solid arc. I think this chapter was a lot of fun with all the fights that we got, and I like the way that they've been setting up all these fights against Big Mom, using her own homies against her. But that bit with Pudding, where last week she seemed like she was good, now she seems like she's evil, and I guarantee you she's probably going to end up seeming good again the next time we see her with Sanji. I don't think they're setting up for any Pudding or Nami fight at this point. I think it's going to be one of those things where she's going to see Sanji again, Sanji's going to say something nice to her, she's going to be taken aback a bit. I don't know. This whole split personality Pudding thing, it's too much for me now. It's not even like predicting whether or not she's good Pudding or bad Pudding. It's not even fun. It's just like, it doesn't matter to me. She's clearly a throwaway character, and we already know that the one who's going to bake the cake for Big Mom is Sanji to calm her down. We already know this. Like, it has been hinted so many times. That's clearly where they're going with the direction of the story, and I don't know. You guys can let me know in the comments below what you think of all the Pudding stuff. I really was not at all impacted by it. You can watch my live reaction. I was way more hype this week from the Nami stuff with Zeus than I was from that final panel. I did like seeing more Chiffon, though, and sort of seeing her reasoning to go help them, considering the fact that, the Straw Hats really did save Lola's life, and all she could do, all Chiffon could do was really thank them before, but now she has an actual opportunity to help them, so that's why she chooses to go alongside Pudding. And you see Capone, come back safe. Once again, Capone, family man. I respect you, Capone. So, yeah, that whole ending bit with Pudding, I don't even care about it. I didn't feel like talking about it. I think that's actually the weakest part of the chapter, and I think that's the thing that a lot of people are going to be talking about most is like, oh my god, is she good or bad again? that is no longer interesting to me. I think the fights were the most interesting part of this chapter. I'm going to give this week a 4 out of 5. I think it was a really solid chapter of One Piece, but that last bit with Pudding, that heel turn again and all that stuff, it's just, I don't know, it's grating on me. It's grating on me in the same way that the Seducing Woods grated on me in the early part of this arc. Now the Seducing Woods are fun. Like, I like seeing all the fights that are happening there, but in the early part of this arc, it was grating on me a little bit, and that's how the Pudding stuff feels to me as well. But again, let me know your thoughts on this chapter down in the comments below. Leave a like on this video if you liked anything I had to say, and please be sure to subscribe, because I bring you guys reviews about the anime and the manga every single week. And two more things I want to say before I wrap this up. One, I want to bring up that cover story with Bartolomeo and Gambia burning Shanks' flag. Bart, what are you doing? I could not believe he did that during this cover story. I thought for sure he was going to freak out over Shanks' flag because Shanks is the senpai of his senpai, but that doesn't seem to be the case, and he clearly knows that that's Shanks' flag because the caption during the cover page is, "Oh, Yonko doesn't matter to me at all." So it's like, what? You know that this is Shanks. Why are you burning the flag? You know how important Shanks is to Luffy if you've done your research. Makes no sense to me. I want to know where that cover story is going. And two, if you haven't already, enter that One Piece 20 for 20 giveaway. Today is the last day to do it. I'm going to be announcing the winner during the results video on Monday for the One Piece poll that I put together earlier this week. Lots of great One Piece content coming for you guys next week, and of course all my regular reviews about the anime and the manga. So, with that being said, I'll talk to you guys next time. Bye-bye!